Hey, what is up you guys? I'm back here again with another video and I'm finally making my DIY unicorn. Now, the horse I'm going to be using to make the unicorn is the horse from the Wonder Woman Queen Hippolyta set and the horse. And I already tried the process of trying to dye the horse's hair and it didn't really work out. I'm sorry, I actually wanted to keep the hair, but I'm going to be doing an alternative method. So I'm gonna have to sadly cut off the horse's hair, and this is kind of new for me. I've never actually cut off like a toy horse's hair. You will see me in this video like trying from like different angles and stuff. It really looks weird. Alright, so that didn't really work out so much, so I'm just going to take my scissors and try to cut as close to the horse's head and neck as I can. And when I saw that didn't work, I tried a alternative method. I'm going to be using my one blade shaver that I use. I've only owned this for about a month or so, so it's still rather new. I don't really shave all that much, so I'm just going to go along the horse's head and neck and even along it sideways so I can get all the hair off. And that method worked pretty well, and this is also kind of weird to look at a bald horse. Alright, and to make the unicorn horn, I'm going to be using some air drying modeling clay that I found at Walmart. I'm going to take a little bit of the clay, roll it onto a little bit of a log. I'm using a rectangle piece of cardboard. I'm going to start rolling, then use my index finger to press lightly on one side, so that way it makes a shape like an elephant's tusk. Then I repeat to make two, then I'm going to grab them down at the base, then I'm going to start slowly twisting them. I'm really trying my hardest. This is the first time I'm ever actually making a horn. Over the head. So now to make the sides flush together, I'm going to be taking the same piece of cardboard, rolling it very lightly until the sides are flush together. Then I'm just going to let that air dry. Alright, then once it's fully dry, I'm going to be painting over it with some glue so that way it can cover up any little cracks in the horn. Then once that's dry, I'm going to be painting it with some pearlescent paint. Now, to make the mane, I'm going to be doing this process. I see people on the internet how they make doll wigs. I'm using some acrylic yarn and I'm going to be wrapping it around my little journal here. I'm doing at least an even number of times, at least 10 to 12 times just to make the mane. And I have to stop on the opposite end of where I started. I cut off the remaining yarn, and the reason I like using my journal is because it has this little nook in here so I can cut it evenly. And so this is going to be the mane. Next, I'm going to be taking at least 2 strands of the yarn that I already cut, place a wooden dowel in the middle, then take the raw ends, then loop them through the hole, tighten them to just at least make 1 strand for the mane. Then I repeat with the rest of the colors with the pink, yellow, and blue that I want to choose to make the mane with. Alright, now I'm going to be taking a dog brush and I'm going to be slowly untangling the yarn and slowly starting at the bottom, then work my way up. And I gotta really say, this is kind of the hard part because you kind of see me hit the tripod a few times in this shot. Alright, then I'm just going to keep brushing through the yarn until the brush is able to just run smooth through the yarn. This is what it looks like. Then for the next step, I'm going to take a straightener. Then I'm going to do a process of brushing, then straightening at least 5 to 6 times. Alright, and after brushing and straightening with the straightener, this is what the yarn should currently look like, and I gotta say, I really love how it looks. It's so shiny and colorful. Alright, for the next step, I'm going to be taking a plastic binder or a plastic surface of some sort, then spreading some glue evenly along it. Then I'm going to start with at least 1 color at a time. I'm going to cut as close as I can to the wooden dowel. Then I'm going to be placing the yarn into the glue. Then the next step, I'm going to be placing some glue along the top edges too with a paintbrush. And I repeat that with the rest of the colors onto the binder and then with the glue. Then I just set that off to dry for a few hours. Then once dry, I'm going to carefully peel it off. Alright, and lastly for this part, I'm going to be cutting off the raw edges from the top part, cutting off any raw edges of yarn and any exposed glue, and I'm going to be doing that the same for the sides. Alright, so this is what it currently should look like. Alright, so now I'm going to be sliding the glued part of the horse's mane into the pre-existing mane hole. I'm going to be doing that down from the neck to be sure it's in there very sturdy so it won't come out. Then I'm just going to brush it down with the dog brush. Then I'm putting some plastic wrap along the mane and I'm leaving that to sit overnight so it won't stick up. Alright, now for the unicorn's tail, I'm going to be doing the same thing I did with the mane, except this time I made it shorter. Each color was about 4 strands of yarn. So now I'm going to be taking one end of the weft and start tightly rolling it along. Alright, then once I get to the end, I'm going to be gluing it, then gluing down the rest of the horsetail. Alright, then once the glue is dry, I'm going to be placing the base of the tail in the pre-existing tail hole. Alright, so you guys already know I could not skip on the opportunity to put some glitter on this unicorn, so I'm just putting some glue on the base of the hooves, then sprinkling on some glitter because I just really love this little blue iridescent glitter. Then I'm just taking some more glue, then dabbing it on so I can keep the glitter in place. Alright, now to literally top everything else off, I glued on the horn using some super glue, then I added a little bit of extra glitter to give it that little magical look. Alright, and that is our DIY unicorn. I enjoyed making this so much. It is so beautiful, and thank you guys for suggesting this. If you guys have any more suggestions, be sure you guys put them down in the comments below and I'll take a look at them. As always, I'll see you guys in the next video.